Welcome to this episode of Destiny Rumor, where we'll discuss Variks and what potential he has to be the fabled Kell of Kells. Variks, also known as Variks the Loyal, is a fallen vandal who once served alongside Skolas during his time as Kell, or leader, of the House of Wolves. Variks was a scribe from House Judgment during this time, and after finding himself disturbed by the brutality Skolas displayed, was docked of his upper arms. But first, let's discuss what we know about fallen hierarchy. In fallen society, vandals are simply dregs who keep all four of their arms intact. A vandal becomes a dreg when they are disgraced, and must earn back the use of their two lower arms. When a dreg proves him or herself worthy, their arms are allowed to grow back. From this point, they become vandals once again, and may rise further yet to the rank of captain or even to Kell. When Variks disappointed Skolas, he was docked of his upper arms, reduced to nothing more than a dreg. It is at this point that Variks betrayed Skolas, House Judgment, and his fallen brethren by joining Mara Sov, Queen of the Awoken, in the Reef. In the process, he earned the full title of Variks the Loyal and was rewarded with 2 prosthetics to replace his docked limbs. It is here where things begin to get a bit more interesting. In Fallen lore, the Kell of Kells is something of a god figure to all Fallen. According to the legend, there is a story, old as time, of he who could catch the stars. Unnamed and eternal, the star catcher would lead the Fallen, rising from the lowest station to the highest exalted peaks. Before him foes will flee or fall, but he will heal the houses, make them whole. This tale originated from House of Rain, a fallen house that was destroyed by the whirlwind, a catastrophic event brought about by the departure of the Great Machine, otherwise known as the Traveler. The four-armed fallen used the legend as a way to keep the dregs placated and hopeful. After all, even the lowly may one day ascend, as it is said. It is a story, a fairy tale, and one that Variks himself believes nonsense. Even when Petra, emissary to the Queen and ally of Variks, implies that Variks himself could potentially be this fabled Kell of Kells, Variks pays no attention to her, distracted by other matters. It is important to clarify one point. While in fallen society, removal of a vandal's lower arms is, at best, a temporary condition, it is important to note that Variks' upper arms were docked, and not his lower ones. This implies that Variks would never be able to regrow his severed arms, unlike a normal dreg. This is further reinforced by his wearing prosthetics while in service to the Queen of the Reef. Such a punishment must be considered extreme, even for the fallen, and one can only imagine what Variks had done to anger his Kell, Skolas, to such a degree. Perhaps Skolas saw something more in Variks than just a simple scribe. Perhaps he sought to snuff out the potential Variks had there and then, while unknowingly playing right into the legend itself. Of course, this is all merely speculation.
You think you hate wolves? I promise you my hate is sharper.
The use of the phrase star catcher in the fallen legend is an interesting one. It could stand as a reference to a Kell's height. Famous Kell leaders such as Draxus and Skolas were colossal beings, far larger than your typical vandal or captain. Such a height is gained by a constant gorging of ether, the lifeblood of the fallen. Something that Variks now has a steady supply of, brought to him by guardians eager to trade such materials for ammunition. The term may also refer, somewhat more abstractly, to the guardians themselves as beings forged from light, or to their ghosts, which were emitted from the Traveler in its dying breath. The guardians, while not in servitude to Variks, perform deeds for him throughout the entire solar system. Not only that, but they humbly perform the bidding of the Queen, whom Variks is deeply loyal to. Regardless, the other fallen may very well see Variks' influence over the guardians as a form of power, as a light, or star, catcher.
One day soon, I'll tell you the story of how our world ended. I'll tell you the story of the Great Machine.
And then there is the small matter of House Judgment itself and the role it played within all the fallen houses. It was the duty of House Judgment, one of the oldest of the fallen houses, to create laws and maintain order within their society. Such a role could lead one to assume that it is only natural for the Kell of Kells to emerge from that very upbringing. The other houses, such as House of Devils and House of Wolves, were subject to infighting and battling each other for dominance. If anyone were to rule over all of the Kell, it would make sense for them to hail from a place of order and law. Some may argue that Variks is a follower, not a leader or a ruler. Certainly his place as a servant to a queen not of his own people would lead many to the same conclusion. Still, others insist that he is more of a survivor than anything else. His admiration for even the lowly dreg speaks to his willingness to embrace simple survival rather than power. While Variks certainly doesn't appear to be as ruthless or violent as Skolas, if becoming the Kell of Kells would serve to reunite the fallen houses, we can be reasonably sure that Variks would be willing to take on the responsibility. Time and time again we are given examples of Variks' eagerness to make the fallen whole, to make them strong, to lead them, and to give them purpose, which is exactly what the legend of the Kell of Kells seems to refer to. Do you think the great machine has noticed what we did? Will it speak to me again? Tell me where the great Elixni have gone. Variks himself has spoken with the great machine, although he does not go into detail concerning what the traveler may have said to him. He only makes it clear even more so that he is seeking to rebuild and construct all fallen houses, something only the Kell of Kells would be capable of doing. Even the name Varik is a Teutonic name meaning defending ruler. Even Variks' very own name signals his destiny as the Kell of Kells. I am a marvel with 10,000 arms. Myth, fairy tale, or a prophecy of what will be, it is best not to take chances. After all, one can't reach across the black to claim dominion over 10,000 stars with 10,000 arms if they die here and now with only 2. Thank you for watching this episode of Destiny Rumor. Feel free to share your thoughts or comments below, and let me know what you think should be the next Destiny Rumor.